Watch how I bring these static lifeless photos back to life in the form of viral videos that move as if you had hired a film crew. Most people don't know that you can resurrect any old photograph and turn it into moving video footage that clients pay high prices for. In this video, I'll show you exactly which AI tools do this for free. Alright, let's get started. So in today's video, we're gonna see how to revive your old photographs or projects using artificial intelligence. For this, we'll use a program called WAN GP, which you can install with Pinocchio. Specifically, we're gonna use the WAN 2.2 model for all these examples. Pinocchio is this AI platform where you can install completely free applications and run models like in this case the WAN 2.2, which is for video generation. I also have another video here where I show how to run LoRa's to make it faster, and that's what we're going to use in this video. First, let's choose the photographs we'll work with. Throughout this video, I'll focus on two quite old projects. One that's already over 20 years old, which was this cafe called Bagel Street in London. And the other is a project called Vince, which is a wine brand in Shanghai, China, that's also over 15 years old. For these two clients, I took some photos, but in this case, I want to revisit these photos by using them in a reel that I can show as a video reel to display in my portfolio, and thus use these images as video. For this, we'll select this bagel image, the cafe one. It's super easy here. We'll drag the main image, which is the facade. In this case, I'll use this initial image, and here I'll place the final image with this slightly lateral camera angle. We'll select the 8-step LoRa. We go down to the bottom and change the number of steps to 10, which will help us generate the video faster. We'll leave it at 81 frames, which is approximately 5 seconds. We click here to generate. And here we have the result. After about 22 minutes, we have the result here. We can see that the camera movement seems to be made with a stabilizer or a Steadicam, and the movement is super fluid. The only thing I don't like is that at the end it has a kind of cut, because the final image doesn't correspond exactly with the original. It was taken on another day with another camera and has this cut that looks a bit strange. We'll leave this image as is and do another test. Let's do this other image. For this, we'll remove the final frame so it only generates with one reference image. We'll change the resolution to approximately 480 pixels here in this aspect ratio menu. We'll configure the prompt so it improves based on the reference image. After about 8 minutes, we have the result. This result is much faster. It's based on this static image, so obviously it doesn't have much camera movement. It's fine, but there's a part where this person appears to be levitating. That's the only issue I see. We'll leave it like that for now. Let's continue with the bagels project. I have this image of this bagel on this board, but the only problem is that it's in vertical format, and for our videos, we need a horizontal format. For this, we're going to use Nano Banana, which is incredible for improving images and generating realistic edits or images. What we'll do is change the format from vertical to horizontal. Here we upload our image and give it a prompt that just says bagel. In this case, we're going to change it here on the right side where it says auto, and we change the proportion, making it 16:9, so it's a horizontal format. It takes approximately 12 seconds to generate this image, and the result, as we can see, is impeccable. This tool is ideal for doing this outpainting. And before we continue, if you need any help with any AI project, whether it's video generation, image generation, audio, or any creative project, don't hesitate to contact me. Here I'm going to leave my LinkedIn contact, which is the best way for us to talk. I'll leave it here and in the description of this video. Let's continue. With this result, now we go back to generate a video using WAN 2.2 again, and here we simply write in the prompt just saying a hand grabbing the bagel and lifting it. Let's leave it at the same resolution, 7020 and 81 frames long, which is equal to 5 seconds. Also, we leave the same 4-step LoRa, and here we give it 10 generation steps. Here we also give the option to use the prompt enhancer. And here we have our result. Okay, the result is a bit strange, to be honest. It's super realistic, yes, but the hand movement is a bit strange. So it's good to also see this type of error and how we can improve it. Let's do another test using the same image. Right now it's generating this image at 35 minutes for 5 seconds. I want to see how time is affected if we go back to the 480 pixel resolution again, and here we change the LoRa back to this 8-step lighting one. And here we simply change the prompt, saying it shouldn't be hands but a single hand, and we see now again in the generation how it improved. The result was much better than in the previous example. It took 8 minutes, as we can see here. So continuing in the same range of examples, I have this other image from the same Bagel Cafe project. As we can see, in this image the lighting is natural. And now we'll simply generate it, leaving with the same parameters. For this 5-second video at 480p, it took 9 minutes. The result is very good. It's incredible how it generates these videos from just images. Here, as we can see, it lowered the resolution a bit in the background, but the result is very good. For the following examples, let's go to the Vince Wine project. We start using this image of the bottle, but as we can see, it's in a square format. Here we go back to Nano Banana, and we're going to do the same procedure to change it to a horizontal format. And here we simply write in the prompt bottle, and here's the result. Wow, it's very interesting because it created this lighting, like some flares, like some rays on top of the image, which is super valid, super interesting visually. The only thing I don't like is that it has this watermark. When you generate images in Nano Banana, it creates this star here at the bottom, this watermark. So to remove this watermark, or if you want to remove another element like a logo, you can use this website that I also explained in previous videos. Here on this website called Recraft, you can edit images, generate images, make logos. You can do a ton of things. If you want to see more, you can also watch this video where I show how to make logos using this platform. And here, when you have a free account, you can upload 3 images per day, meaning you can edit 3 images, upload them, and it's super simple. We simply select this lasso tool and select the area we want to remove, and we click delete. And done. It already generated the image for us here, and we download it in PNG format. Here in Recraft can also enlarge the resolution if we want it, but in this case, because the video we're going to make doesn't need much resolution, we'll go back to WAN 2.2. We import our image, and here we'll simply give it the prompt. We tell it again, it's slow motion and a splash. And here we have our result. So it's already a standard that for a 5 second or 81 frames and 480p, it takes 9 minutes to generate this. The result is very good. And in this case, it works perfectly for what we're looking for. Let's do another test. I have here this other image from another bottle of the same brand of this wine, but in Nano Banana, we're going to change it, or we're going to remove this text so it just leaves the image without the text. So here we put it again in Nano Banana. We import our image and we tell it to remove all the texts. And here we have the result. Wow, super. How it removes or edits this image in seconds. And if you do this in Photoshop, you could spend hours if you wanted to remove this text in this way. And again, here I'm going to remove this watermark. Although this watermark is super simple to remove, If you have Photoshop, you can do it very easily. You don't need to use this platform. But since we still have 2 more images, let's keep using Recraft. We upload the image and again do the same procedure. We select the lasso tool and remove this watermark here in the lower right. And here we have the result. Okay, perfect. Again, we go back to 1:2. As you can see here, we can change the resolution up to 1080 if we want it. And here, this image is 1300 by 768. It's not recommended to increase it more than what the image is. So in this case, let's leave the resolution at 720p. And in this case, we're going to change it here where it says to improve the prompt based on images. We're going to leave it to improve the prompt based on the prompt and the image, because I realize it's not taking the prompt we write here, but rather what it's doing is generating a prompt based on the image, but not on the prompt we give it. And we click generate. Wow, so it's already like a standard for the time it takes generating these images. For this one, it took 35 minutes generating a 720p video. It's a much larger resolution, and the result is, I think it's better than the previous one. One thing I forgot to mention, in all these examples, the computer I'm using has an NVIDIA RTX 3080 graphics card with 16 gigabytes of VRAM. So it's a mid to high range card that's already about 3 to 4 years old at the time I'm recording this. So having this as a reference, we can see the times it takes to make all these videos. For our last case, let's use this image of Venus wine as well, where these 3 women appear. This was taken about between 15 and 14 years ago. I don't remember very well. And for this project, we didn't make videos, but rather they were simply static images. And I want to rescue this project as if it were a part in the actual video that I'm thinking of improving in my portfolio. So that's also the purpose of this video. We'll select this image, which we'll edit a bit. We'll crop it here so you don't see this tagline at the bottom. And once cropped, we'll do the same. We select it and drag it here. Obviously, we'll have to change the prompt. We'll configure it so the prompt improves based on the image, just like in the previous example. And in this case, I want to have more resolution than the previous example. Here we could select the other LoRa to speed up the process. Let's see how it goes with this 4-step LoRa. And we click generate. Oh, okay, it tells me we can't leave the prompt field empty. So we'll write girls having fun and we click generate again. We also leave here the 81 frames, so the generation is fast. We also see here the prompt, how it improved it in the image at the bottom of the generation. Here we have the result. After 43 minutes, obviously it took longer because we're putting double the resolution, but I thought it would take much less. The result isn't bad, but it has a camera movement in the background that's very strange, and the movement is very abrupt and exaggerated. I'm going to change the prompt here a bit, telling it to be in slow motion, and we'll click generate again here. And here, after about 35 minutes, we have the result. Compared to the previous result, the movement is much better, it's not as exaggerated as before. But we see that by doubling the resolution to 720 pixels, the generation takes more than double the time. That's something you have to keep in mind. Well, that's all for this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell so you get notifications of the new videos I'll be making. And if you made it this far, I invite you to watch this other video where I show how to improve videos using AI completely free. Click here. See you next time. Bye-bye.